Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be doing something just for a little bit of fun really. I've put together a list. It's something I haven't tried before and I want to just give it a shot. And it's going to be fun for us, but maybe not so fun for our opponent. The plan with this list is to basically lock things up, keep them in place and stop them being able to contribute as much to the game as they otherwise might like. So the main means we're going to be doing this is with Peacemaker Ballam. So Peacemaker Ballam is able to, for 2 Cinder, throw a Spore Puff which just stuns all crew in an area for a turn. So it doesn't sound like that much, but when you combine that with Zax, we can just pull things together, stun them, and really just start locking up the board. Now, to further make things for fun, once those units are locked up together, we need to find ways of damaging them and dealing with them. So we've put together both Beatrice Enforcer and Shrapnel, who've got 3 AoE attacks to try and take out multiple units per turn. If we start taking damage on both of these, we pop down our Nectarvine, start healing it up. We've got Torian Guardian to keep us a little bit safer, stop taking damage on those as well. We've got Jailbreak to lock things in place if we're not sure if we're going to be able to stun them or not, if we're waiting a turn to bring out Peacemaker Ballam or anything like that. We've got Crankbait to pull them into range. We've got both Deadeye and Maximus here as a little bit of early game, just to keep us in the game as well. And then lastly, we put in Pacifier Ohtli so that we can just throw people back to the ship if they're starting to stay out of the range of what we really need them to be. So, if we can't pull them in to stun them, or if we can only choose to stun in 2 different areas, we stun the far away thing, fling it back up to the ship with Pacifier Ohtli, and just make the most of that, really controlling board state if it all goes to plan. So hopefully we can have a lot of fun with this. I've played similar lists before with Peacemaker Ballam. I had a great time, so hopefully we can carry on with this on this one. If you're enjoying this, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. The subscriptions have been going through the roof recently. We've nearly hit 100 subscribers in about the last week and a half, which is incredible. It's flying up there. I mean, we're nearly at by 2 weeks we might be looking at 100 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how grateful I am to all of you, so I want to thank you so much for that. But for now, we're going to jump into the game, see what we can find, and see if we can have a bit of fun. So I'll see you once we get back in the game. Okay, we have found ourselves a game. It looks like we are playing versus the entire internet. The internet is our opponent today. I think that's a fantastic name. A level 2 opponent, so fairly new to the game. This is one of the first times in a while I've actually had a queue go nearly as long as they can do, so just short of 5 minutes. So I'm imagining it was trying to avoid pairing the 2 of us together, but if nobody else joined the queue, the system went and sent us that way anyway. So I do like that it does try to pair new players up with people of equivalent levels or some sort of matchmaking ability there. It is a nice thing for newer players, but looking at this player already has a very good grasp of how the general movement and things works in the game. So, okay, so they've got a Maximus. I don't know if we're going to be able to get in range to shoot Maximus. He's very safe there, but we might be able to get in range. Okay, might be able to get in range to shoot them. I mean, honestly, I think we're best off just actually going for this shot at 58%, pulling ourselves down, because we should be more likely to get this than they were. If we put ourselves to just about here, we'll be a little bit safer. We should be fairly safe from Maximus at this point, because we're still behind the terrain, and we can deploy our own little fire team. So we'll go Maximus and Deadeye here. We might as well just get multiple ones out early and start applying that extra pressure. We don't want to waste our resources. But now, given that we are trying to sort of work on a Peacemaker Ballam list, if we can apply enough pressure, ooh, they could. Okay, maybe we didn't position ourselves too bad. Okay, they did get 1 hit. That's good for them. But yeah, depending on how well this goes, there is a chance we might actually decide to just go ahead and save up our leadership for the next couple of turns. Okay, so how aggressively are they deploying? Okay, so they've gone for a Beatrice. So pulling Beatrice onto that objective is a good call. It stops us being able to control it. So we are still going to go over here and dispute it. But to be honest, I'm more worried about just chipping some damage onto their units, preferably their Maximus. So we can get up to 72 onto Maximus, so that's exactly what we're going to take. There's no sense in taking any unnecessary risks. We did get 1 hit, so we'll pop down here. Now, what can Deadeye get to? We don't have any good angles there, so actually I'm just going to move back to around here for Deadeye. We're going to Ozos on ourselves and just take the shot onto Beatrice. I don't think we've got any Oh, we've got a 60% shot there. Funny enough, that could actually end up pushing Beatrice into range of us, but I don't think it's going to, so we'll just take that. Oh, it pushed her off the objective as well, even better. So we can hide back here. To be honest, I'm not sure either of these really contribute anything right now, so I'm just going to pass. It's not like it's a huge deal, but it's enough. Yeah, so Beatrice is just going to chase us forever. We're just going to move over and put things down if we need to. Okay, so the fact that they've placed that bomb down is interesting, because now... Or the mine, rather. Get it? Oh, they got the hit. Because if they position badly, we can actually just move up this way and use the disc ourselves to pull them into range of the mine, especially if they deploy a second one. Okay, so they're just going to go for that. That's fine. I mean, we're just going to do the opposite back to them and send the mine back at themselves, especially if they place another one. Okay, all Axel Pyro. So, okay, this could be really bad for them, because we've potentially got the ability to pull Axel and their captain and 2 mines into one location. So, that's absolutely what we're going to try and do. If we can get that angle there, this is absolutely brutal, because this is going to explode the next turn as well, so this can deal tons of damage. So we'll go for this first. Oh, of course, that kills the mine. So we do need to get this shot in from Deadeye here, and we probably want to find a way to minimise the shot back. So I think this works, because we can just Ozos ourselves to get the 100. And then we're just going to come all the way up here to get this guaranteed 100 here. And kill Maximus. The question is, where do we go to get away from Beatrice? Honestly, we can just go to about here. And without them using Grav Disc, they will be just out of range. So the question is, what do we want to deploy? They've got 5 damage here, so Ohtli is a little bit slow. In fact, everything we've got here is quite slow. So maybe it's just... Honestly, I could see Beatrice and Nectarviner following up with Shrapnel, or even just... You know what I think, actually? I want to move over here. We're going to take this shot. We're going to put Beatrice down right in front of them. And then we'll go for Taurian Guardian. There you go. This is a hell of a front line. We're still contesting objectives. We're going to be slightly further behind than them, because we've... basically, they've got more points than us. Basically, that's all it comes to. This is going to be a hit and run, because they're deploying out of range. So with hit and run's movement speed, it is difficult to deal with, but we might be able to get into range there. I think here I'd probably go for Taurian. Taurian's more important to hit. I mean, this doesn't matter too much hitting this. Ooh, interesting. So they're pulling us all together, and who are they going to go for? That doesn't really help any of their numbers there, really. They got the miss anyway, so Maximus is the only one left. What I kind of want is them to use that last cinder to deploy a mine, but we can just keep chipping away at things. Maximus is the one we really want to hit. I mean, there's a 1 in 4 chance of them missing both of these. Ooh, that worked. Okay. So that actually means that we've got a very good chance to be able to just kill Maximus here. Again, mines are going to be used against them. That's just what we do. So we only actually need to send 1 hit here, and then we can mine potentially even to get hit and run as well. So if we just come straight here first of all. Okay, can we grab disc to get to hit and run? I think potentially if we move up here, but maybe not to get Maximus as well. Can we get more than 1 unit together though? We absolutely can. Okay, so we're just gonna move in here first and take this. We'll see if we can grab disc this angle. So I don't actually mind taking some hits on Taurian here to get damage onto Stitchy as well. I mean, that will do the job, but it's not quite how we want it to happen. So Zax needs to come up here. Okay, Zax is just going to skip in here and just take a shot onto hit and run. Maximus is going to do probably the same, but we're just going to Ozos onto him as well to give Maximus this additional range. Hit and run doing the same, so doing the same over here. And then we're going to deploy... We're not going to deploy anything. I want to... Actually, no, because next time we're going to be able to deploy Ohtli anyway, so we'll just pop this down here. We'll let this happen. Oh, we need to move here. Defend this. Defend this. I moved. I promise. There you go. I mean... Oh, I didn't realise that was going to hit Beatrice. We did kill one of their units, though, so that works. Next turn we can play either Ohtli or Peacemaker Balam. So 50-50 here to kill us. They did get it, and they can just run away again, but we've got loads of things that can finish off hit and run even after they heal it now. Beatrice is just a minor inconvenience the whole time. I actually think we're going to have to start looking at points here. Again, the mines in a Zax versus Zax matchup are just a liability. There's not really anything they can do that stops this being something we can just deal with. If they don't move... Okay, they've got... They're going for the Scattervines, I love it. Scattervine's such a fun unit. And Tipu, Destroyer of Worlds. If they don't move hit and run, that's a mistake. But if they heal it, that's pretty good. If I were them, I'd still just be moving back as far as possible, seeing what they can do here. But I actually think we've got more than enough damage to clear that out if we need to. Sure, Scattervine runs away. They really need to move hit and run. Okay, so they didn't, which means that we can just make as good a use out of that as possible. So I'm actually going to Ozos onto Shrapnel here to try and just get increased accuracy onto these units. So we'll shoot over here. Wow, even missing onto Stitchy there is really quite awkward. So we'll push for 2 damage here. We'll let Beatrice get an attack in if that's what she wants to do. Our Beatrice will just move back slightly. We do want to get a Zax attack in here. Okay, we did get that. That's perfect. We can pull all of these in to make a nice little friend group. So that's going to be a bunch of damage going through there. And to be honest, because Tipu is a threat, we're going to start just chipping away at Tipu as well. They're going to lose 2 units at the start of their turn. And to make sure Tipu is no longer a threat, our new toy, Pacify Ohtli, comes out. We don't need to place any mines down. We do need to deal with this, because otherwise we're just going to lose to Scattervine. But that's such a good use for us. So Beatrice can get some good value here. I think she's in range to attack. Tipu should not be too much of a threat now. Oh, I've just realised I placed down Ohtli instead of thingy, Peacemaker Balam. I was meant to play Balam this turn. Oops. So we are going to have to basically move over and try and deal with that. This is a good attack from them, by the way. A very good attack. That's going to be an Aria, so we know that. We can just throw Aria back up into the sky. We've got enough damage here to kill Tipu, but we really need to get to Scattervine. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is easy. This can go over here, and we can just start sending Shrapnel to try and deal with Scattervine. And we can just ignore Beatrice for now, but not entirely. Because now these got 4 health, they're a lot harder to kill, and we are going to start falling behind in points. It could even be that we actually are just meant to start going for damage here instead. But they're filling up their entire roster with this. Please don't place a mine. Poor opponent, they keep placing mines down and the same thing keeps happening. So I'm not sure this is going to continue working out for them, but hey ho, is what it is. So we'll shoot here, get the 2 damage in. We're going to just pop over here and just pacify this. We will take Deadeye to get a nice big 100% shot here. To be honest, at this point, we probably grav disc these all together. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Ozos here. So you can just move back over here somewhere. We use the grav disc to pull things over here. Can we get all of these? There we go. And what we want to do is just start running this way and maybe try not to hit the mine, but actually this should work. Ah, we're not quite in range. Okay, so we are missing out on things here. We're going to pop Peacemaker Balam down. She's going to go over here. And now, outside of theirs, we still don't need a Sleeper Mine. We just need to be more aggressive to stop this being a points game. We need to either move on to their captain or just clear them out completely. We're completely fine with Arya going over here because we're just going to run away from this. So they might be able to hit Ohtli, but that's about it. Whatever they deploy here, we're going to start circling up and shooting down with Peacemaker Balam. And I think this will start being... As long as we can stop the point situation, this will be how we start taking this game back into control. We need to wipe all of these out as soon as possible. But with things like shrapnel, it's not the worst case scenario. This won't do any damage. And we can start trying to lock up the aim. Scattermine's actually probably the biggest threat we've got here. Yes, sure, more scattermines. We're going to basically scoop these up and just try and shotgun and AoE these for free as much as possible. Especially if they put Beatrice here, we might be able to scoop multiple things in here, get a massive shrapnel attack, especially if we get Deadeye accuracy, and then just go for some damage. It's just this back point that we're worried about. We're not worried about any of this. We can stun things, we can move them out. Even, I mean, if we need to. I think we're just short of getting in range for Arya there. No, not more mines, OB. Okay, so... what can we grab disc here? So... we can clear up most of these scattervines pretty much instantly, just leave the one at the back. Which is fine. So... if we actually just... I'm going to take this shot onto ourselves. We don't mind that. We're going to Deadeye. We want to get this extra accuracy. So if we pop ourselves to here, just shoot all of this. We will hit our own Beatrice, but that's absolutely fine. She's not really the deciding factor at this point in time. We'll send Maximus over to just poke Arya. I've actually just realised that we've blocked ourselves off of that objective, which is pretty bad. So we're going to want to take this shot just for the sake of it, I think. Yeah, because we don't have anything else to do apart from move over here. And we're going to start just moving Peacemaker Balam out. We're out of range. Where have we got a shot for here? I guess we just take 4%.
It's okay. It's okay.
We might as well move this way. Keep ourselves safe. So again, as long as we're contesting this, we only have 3 points to prevent. We do still have AoE, we've got Spore Puff. Spore Puff will stop them spawning more of these, but again, these mines are not helping our opponent. Yeah, Beatrice is going to die. I'm not doubting that in the slightest. But what's funny is that if she dies, we probably aren't even upset by it because we've got other things we can use. Like Maximus and Deadeye aren't really contributing much here. They're just going to have to start moving on to the enemy captains. Yeah, if they're shooting Beatrice, that's fine by me. That's absolutely fine. So if they deploy something and don't make another Scattervine, that's a really good spot for us. Okay, Chuck and Co. That is absolutely fine. The Scattervine's the one thing that's actually our biggest problem right now. Pulling that mine just closer to them is no problem at all. If that's what they want to use their Cinder on as well, then we basically have this game because we can stop them getting that Scattervine through every time. We can start stunning everything up, we can kill the Scattervine potentially, we can maybe stun down here. Ooh, no, no, don't... Okay, that might be a mistake because that explodes for a lot of damage. I might actually just be moving up here to mine things away. More deployments, okay. Maybe we just gather things up down this way. So if we move here, can we gravity disc these into view? We can. Which puts shrapnel on the menu as a good option here. We are going to destroy the mine. That's not really what we're aiming for, but it's more important for us to take out the Scattervine here more than anything else, which is a really funny thing to say. But so just touching here gets us 100% accuracy as well. So we hit the Scattervine. We're going to move again. We're going to be just out of range from quite what we want to do. At this point we probably could just poke Arya still, but I think we need to just keep touching objectives. And we're going to start just shooting the enemy captain. So take these shots. Move back here to hide from Arya. We'll do the same over here. And I'm going to pop a Nectar Vine down just back here to start healing us all up. Spore Puff's out of range, but I think this is fine. If this gets one turn to last, we're going to start healing every turn. We can start throwing things back up to the battlefield. So even them being able to damage us isn't quite going to be enough. We're going to be able to start out healing things, out damaging them. We can start grouping things up and stunning whatever crew they have left. And I think this game's probably pretty locked up from here. But I can just say the internet for a level 2 player has played really well this game. Like, actually really well. Oh, are they going to throw a mine at us? Okay, throwing mines is always fun. But we can start snaring things. Like, we don't even really care that much about Arya. We're going to have to deal with her at some point. That miss is pretty brutal for them. But we're just going to pop back up here for maybe use 3 units this turn to go up there and deal with it. And then we're just going to start stunning everything else up. Flurry, interesting. What's interesting about Flurry is that we can start using that against them. So especially if they grav disc like that, that's a really bad call. Sure. Okay, so the thing with that is that it means that we can just start shooting things and blowing them up in AoE. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But to make sure we don't start losing things unnecessarily, let's pacify Beatrice. We're going to pop over here. We do want to Ozos as well, so we're now on that point, so that's fine. We will Ozo Shrapnel. Here we just shoot Flurry and get the spin going. We'll move Shrapnel up here to shoot Flurry. Get more AoE, more explosions, extra explosions. We'll use Zaxin as well. We've got them down to 1. So the only important thing here is just to actually just move here, shoot Flurry, and watch the game end in style. Funnily enough, we didn't even use Peacemaker. In fact, can we get in range? No. We can't even use Peacemaker Balam, but we can just shoot this and get a really fun ending. So, well played to the internet. That was actually a really fun game. I enjoyed that a lot. I actually found it was more of just a Zax versus Zax, just grav disc versus grav disc, knowing how to make use of that more than anything else. But we got some really good value out of Pacifier Ohtli. It forced Arya to go back into the distance and we could just move away from her. We managed to just go through every single one of our opponent's units. Ooh, we got a level up, did we? Oh, Beatrice leveled up. Nice. What's she now? I feel like I've played more hours of it, but then again, I've played a lot on the experimental server, so a lot of this is probably a lot more playtime than it really looks like. And they went through, I think, other than Axel Pyro, maybe we did see Axel Pyro. I don't know. I think we may have gone through every single unit in their entire roster, but honestly, great fun game. I had a great time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this too. If you have, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. The description down below. Anything you can do to support the channel is so appreciated. I'm having such a blast just seeing everything grow, hearing you guys have suggestions and see what we want to do in the future. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.